Netflix. The long-awaited adaptation of The White Tiger has finally dropped on Netflix, and the subversive best-selling tale of one man's confrontation with the corruption of classism has won over both critics and audiences. Earning a 90% critics score on Rotten Tomatoes and an 83% audience score, The White Tiger chronicles India's grisly caste system and one taxi driver's ambitious, and deadly, rise within it during the 2000s. Ramin Bahrani, who Indian author Arvind Adiga dedicated his debut novel to, serves as the director of this dark, satirical story centered on Balram Adarsh Gaurav, an entrepreneur and owner of a Bangalore car service with a bounty on his head. Serving as both the film's central character and narrator, Balram is joined by his privileged and wealthy former employer Ashok Rajkumar Rao, and his beautiful wife Pinky, played by actress and the film's executive producer Priyanka Chopra Jonas, in a non-linear tale told by way of emails from Balram to the then Chinese premier Wen Jiabao. Going from the vast and consuming poverty of his upbringing, a situation he calls the darkness, Balram details his grand and aggressive journey out of the destitution and misery of his father's life and into something more violently grand. Moving to the city, he takes a job as a driver working for a family of a prominent landowner, first humbly refusing to be paid with anything but the honor of working for such a respected household. Eventually, after getting the head driver fired, the cunning Balram takes his place and begins to strategically insert himself into their lives. Balram forms a somewhat tenuous relationship with his employers Ashok, the family's US-educated son, and his wife, Pinky. They are privileged, selfish and condescending, but also slightly more enlightened about class cruelty in their country. They feel for Balram, but with pity instead of empathy, a reality that becomes painfully clear when the couple's recklessness sees their driver taking the fall for a murder. But that's only the beginning of The White Tiger's twists. Here's the film's ending, explained. Balram is convinced to take the fall for a murder committed by his privileged employer's Netflix. Within the Netflix film's narrative runs the story of a chosen one, a white tiger, who is only born once every generation. There is also, the lamb, an unknowing sacrifice, the title given to Ashok, a stork, a mongoose. These are essentially qualifiers for the kinds of people that exist in the world of privilege Balram now serves. The meaning of those labels becomes clearer as the film's end approaches. That's around when Balram chooses to buck his servitude and become the legendary White Tiger. Despite Balram being Pinky and Ashok's driver, one night after a party, the two demand he hands them the keys. While joy-riding through the city with a drunk Pinky at the wheel, the car hits someone, killing them.